Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you another tip today to emphasize a focal point. Yesterday I showed you how to emphasize a focal point using color and also black and white, but today we're going to be focusing on blur, and it's actually really similar to what we did yesterday. So if you feel pretty good about that, you should feel pretty good about this. So a lot of times when we have a focal point, we want it to be already clear, but the background might not be as blurred out as we were hoping for. So this shows you how to edit that, especially like if there's something in the background that you're not really wanting to be there. And you can do it the opposite. Like you could have a focal point back here that's in focus and something closer up that's blurred. It's usually the closer object, but either way could work. So just like yesterday, we're going to duplicate the layer, and then instead of changing the color, we're going to go to filter and go to blur. And my personal favorite for realistic effects is Gaussian blur. So these are all other blur options. You might want to play around with them just so you can. But for today, I'm going to use this. And then as always, you can use your slider and take the blur over, and you can decide, how far you want to go with it. I don't think I'm going to go quite that far. And then hit OK. And just like yesterday, so I've got the blur layer on top of my clear layer. So I'm going to use my eraser tool to erase away the blur on the parts that I want to be really crisp. And I'm definitely going to use my Control Plus to zoom in so I can really see what I'm doing. And again, remember, you can control the brush size and also the hardness. So I'm going to take that down just a little bit in case I make a mistake so it's not quite so obvious. Okay, there we go. So, and if you see, you can start to see like the details of the flower now emerging. You do want to be careful though, if you don't go all the way to the edge, especially like with the flower, do you see how there's kind of like a halo effect there. So you got to be careful because you go too far, and you uncover parts that you wanted to be blurred. So I'm going to step backward. But yeah, so you just have to take your time and go slow. You can always, redo it or go back if you need to. Um, you also do want the things that are the same distance away to be in focus. So for example, like this rock is the same distance away. So it wouldn't make sense for just the flower to be in focus and the rock to be out of focus since they're right next to each other. So I would probably start like the focus right around here just because that's, the distance away. Which means that when I'm in the lower part of the image, I can make my eraser larger, and it's probably just like that further back part that I need to be a little bit more cautious about. So I'm going to go ahead and use that through here to go a little bit quicker. And then where I'm wanting to be a little bit more cautious, I'm probably going to go ahead and adjust my opacity to like 50%, just so, again, my blur is like not quite so extreme. Looks a little more subtle, a little more believable. And then I could even take that down lower as I go further back. Maybe take it down to like 25% or something. See how that kind of fades just a little bit? Looks like it's getting further back in space, but like gradually so. So I'm gonna zoom in on the flower. And again, just take some time, to make something like this work. You can't go too fast or it's gonna look sloppy, but if you take your time, it can be really believable that you had a lot of depth of field when you first took the image. So there we go. So I'm not gonna do the whole, like all the itty bitty little details because I don't want to bore you. But I think you start to get the idea. I definitely have more parts to do. And you can see, what it was before and what it is now. So still some more work to do through here, but you can definitely see that the background's more blurred than it was. So, all right, that's it, guys.